A lot of times you'll hear people discuss toxic employers, toxic work environments, but you'll rarely hear people talking about toxic employees. We're joined by Paminas, and we're going to be discussing how you can handle a performing but toxic employee. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Cynthia.
So when we talk about toxic employees, describe the signs of one.
So in any given workplace, you are bound to encounter three types of employees. So there's what we call in HR terms an engaged employee. So the term engaged employee means someone who comes to work, they are passionate about what they do, they love what they do, they even come up with suggestions, they connect with their vision. So they've already bought into what you want to achieve, and they go out of their way to make things happen. Now, unfortunately, in any given workplace, only 10 to 15% of employees will be that way. Then we have the middle employees, and they account for 60% of the staff. So these are the staff, they'll come to work, them, it's just work. Then they're really not committed, they don't go out of their way to make things happen, but they also don't cause trouble. You know, so if you give them an assignment, they'll do the assignment, but there will not be friction, there will not be fights, and majority of the employees are in this category. Yeah. Then we have now the third group, and I believe that's the topic of discussion today. These are employees who we call disengaged. So they are disengaged in the sense that they are not happy. It could be something that is happening at the workplace, or it could be something that is happening at their personal life. But that one is coming to the office now, and it's affecting their work. And the problem with the disengaged employees is that they are not just frustrated, but they go out, they act out their frustration. So you'll find the work environment is not conducive. If you ask them to do something, they are very negative. They are not a team player. And so it's not a very good experience for the employee themselves, the fellow employees, and even you as a boss if you're the one managing them. Yeah.
That is what you now, signs you look out for.
Precisely, yes. Yeah. Someone could be unhappy and they're doing something about it.
Yeah.
But also you have someone who's unhappy but they're acting out their frustration. So it's just like a child. You see the way a child, you throw things, they'll call you names. Compared to another child who's not happy, but you can see they're not going out of their way to make the situation worse. So a toxic employees is who they are acting out their frustration. Yeah.
As a recruiter and having worked with a lot of employers and professionals also, when it comes to the workplace, how prevalent is this issue?
I would say, number one, it depends with the culture of the organization. So if the organization allows a way where there's communication between the management and the employee, where employees feel that their voice is heard, where employee feels if they have an issue, they can bring it to the management, then you'll find incidences of toxic employees will be less. Yeah. But in a situation where, communication is stifled, people, you do your thing, I do mine, then you find chances of there being drama, it's quite high. Yeah. So I believe to a great extent, it's the responsibility of you as a manager or a boss to make sure there's conducive work environment such that you're able to see this thing coming from a distance. Yeah.
But then here you are as an employer, you have a performing employee.
Yes.
But they are really toxic.
Yeah.
How do you handle this? Especially you don't want to lose a performer. They're toxic. How do you handle
that? And I believe this is a dilemma that many managers and employers face. Because on one hand, this person is excellent at what they do. Now, what we forget, and this has been my experience, is that an organization cannot survive on one individual. So this person could be very good at what they do. But the question that you need to ask yourself is, what impact are they having?
Yes.
So for example, if it's you, Cynthia, you might be very good in communication. But even in this room, we are four of us. I mean, the audience is not seeing the other two people behind the production. But the reality is, no matter how good you are, there are three of us who are supporting you. Yeah. So this is the mistake many employers do, especially if someone is a good performer. We ignore. And we hope this person will change. Now, that time period you give them to change, they become worse and they also affect the other employees. So you might end up not only losing this employee, but you also lose the whole team. So you end up, losing in a very big way. Yeah. So for me, my advice to managers is the earlier you address the issue, the better. You don't just sweep things under the carpet. Yeah, or you don't even encourage, because I've also seen instances where, because this staff is very good, especially in the sales department, you say, okay, so let me forget about the other employees. See you're bringing business, see you're doing a very good job, then it doesn't matter how they treat the other staff members, which is the wrong approach. Yeah.
And it's costly. It's more costly.
It's more costly at the end. In the short term, you might sweep things under the carpet, but over time, you'll pay a bigger price. Yeah.
So as we conclude on this topic, what process can a manager take to deal with such kind of an employee?
Yeah. So now that, Cynthia, we've identified that these employees are performer, so the issue has to be approached from a disciplinary angle, because it's not a non-performance issue, because they're already good at what they do. So it's a disciplinary matter, and the first starting point is then give them a show cause letter. So if it's you, Cynthia, you're being nasty to part of the production office, I'll give you a showcase letter detailing this is what you did, you abused this and this person, or you treated this person in a professional manner. Why did you do that? So give them a chance to get back to you, so 1 or 2 days. Then when they get back to you, depending on the severity of the matter, then you can see, do you take it to the next level, or will a warning letter do? So when you do this, for you as an employer or as a manager, you're communicating that for us, we don't encourage such type of behavior. And regardless of the fact that you're good at your job, just get to know that action will be taken on you if you continue with this kind of behavior. Yeah, so it's to look at it in a disciplinary way, and not to ignore.
So basically, if you were to take action, it's to ensure that action is documented.
Precisely,
Yeah.
yes, because you don't want this employee coming back and say, no, this issue has never been brought to me. So if it's a warning letter or a show cause letter, make sure it's documented and it goes to their file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for engaging with me on this topic.
Thank you too.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're dealing with this issue at your workplace, I hope these tips that Prevalence has given us come in handy. Please share this video, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.